So I'm going to talk a little bit about flower essences or flower remedies, and in particular First Light Flower Essences of New Zealand, which is New Zealand's first range of native flower remedies made from the native flora of this land. They've been made in accordance with the sacred protocols, so in other words, in cooperation with nature. So what that means is that no remedy has been made until the plant spirit appeared in vision first. Until the plant spirit appeared in vision first and extended the invitation, and until the plant spirit gave what's called its healing, its plant song. So if you listen to the old shaman, medicine man, woman, tohunga, will tell you the plant has its own healing vibration, its own healing song. And in order for the plant to freely give you all of its medicine, then it must have given you its song. Does that make sense to you? So in this land, every plant is seen as a divine child of this land, with its own divine right to be here and its own mana. In other words, its power, its healing medicine, its own mana, and the right to give freely of that. Any fool can go out and pick a plant and put it in water or boil it or other processes, but that doesn't mean that the plant has freely given you the full extent of its healing power. Otherwise it would be a little bit like going and taking something off you, and you think, oh, gee, that's not so. You wouldn't be too pleased about that. So every plant has extended an invitation, told me exactly where it is, how much plant material can be removed, and it's been quite a journey. I'll just tell you a couple of funny stories about that. Life dedicated to spirit is 24/7 in terms of it's not something you can't clock in and clock out. So it's a very full-on and it's a very, very busy life. It's never been any other. So we don't get a lot of time to ourselves, a lot of time just to do nothing. And this time Tony and I had a weekend. We actually had a weekend. So we thought, my goodness me, this is so amazing. What shall we do? We'll go up to the cafe. We see other people sitting in cafes, sitting. So we thought, we'll go up to the cafe and sit in the sun and have coffee or hot chocolate or something. Okay, so that was the plan for the next day. That was the plan on Friday night. I had a vision. And one of our rarest plants, which is red mistletoe. I don't know if you've ever heard our red mistletoe. It's a very, very rare plant. And red mistletoe said it wanted to be made. It gave me its plant song. It told me exactly where it was, which was halfway down the North Island. 4.5 hours drive down the island, halfway up the side of a mountain, and the plant was so precise. It wasn't an area I've ever been in before, so I didn't know. Said, and drive and then park the car and then walk 10 minutes until you see this tree and then turn left there and walk another 5 minutes. So can use linear time. Plant intelligence is truly intelligent. And walk, and there I'll be on the left. And so Tony, of course, every morning when we wake up, he says, what do I need to know? Because he knows that. I said, right, we're going here. We're going down here. So that was fine. Off we went. And the plant told me that I had to give it something. So I had, and it told me how much to take. So anyway, we found the plant very easily because the instructions are perfect. And it said how much to take. And so I took that and I thought, oh gosh, this is such a rare plant, maybe I better get another handful. Well, all of a sudden I got this little whack with the branch and I had a gold earring in it. And the gold earring just, didn't it, Tony? The gold earring just fell out of my ear. It's like the plant saying, enough, pay your price, and, And then
another time when sun orchids are really, really temperamental. Our native orchids are so tiny and they're very, very temperamental. They are associated with the Pachiparehe, the fairy people. So they're quite temperamental. And we have one that's called sun orchid. And the sun orchid may only flower once every 5 years. It might take 5 years to flower. And we had one, and it's been sitting there and sitting there and sitting there, and we were all set. It was a Friday, and we were all set to go down to do a show in Hamilton. And so once again we thought, oh gee, we don't get to, when we go to do a talk anywhere, we don't get to see much of the place, because you go into a venue, you set up and you do your thing and you get back on the plane or in the car, so you don't actually get to see places, and that's fine. But this time we thought, oh gee, wouldn't it be nice, let's go and have lunch in Hamilton before we go to the show to set up. So that's a fantastic idea. So we were all packed, the car was packed with the show things, and we were all packed, ready to go and have our lunch down in Hamilton. And I could pick up, I thought, something's wrong in the garden. Something's wrong. And it was so really distressed, really, really, really distressed. I said to Tony, we can't go. We can't go yet. We've got to find out what's going on here. And it was so overwhelming. I had to say to Tony, just, you find it, because it's, you know, it's just, I couldn't, I was so overwhelmed with the worry and the stress. Anyway, he said to me, I said, you go and have a look. And I said, see if you can see what's wrong. And there was sun orchid flowering. It's one lone flower. And when they flower, they only flower for 1 or 2 days. So we were going away for the weekend to a show, you see. And it was so stressed and so worried that there it was, it had saved itself up. So anyway, I guess you can imagine the rest of the story. Everything went on hold. This was about 10 o'clock in the morning, it wasn't where we to go. Everything went on hold. I had to make the essence, and we ended up getting in the car at about 5 o'clock that night, you know, and driving to Hamilton and, you know, really set up very late in time for the show in the morning. So that's just sort of just a couple of little cameos in terms of plant intelligence, really, and that I live my life in direct obedience to spirit, but also direct obedience to the spirit and everything, but particularly, you know, with our native plants. So yes, the sacred prayer, the karakia, everything to ensure that the plant medicine is at full power, and that all of the facets of healing that the plant can give. So making plant medicine has 8 essential kind of places that you have to align with in consciousness. We are in full power at a spiritual level, and we're in direct alignment, and we are, you know, taking up that, holding that space.